You tell then you want to change things up.
Money Monday. We're live, baby.
Get
to talking.
All right. Happy Money Monday, y'all. John and Nadya Melton in the house and together. And I have to say, I'm feeling extra fabulous because my lipstick matches the color on my toes.
I thought you were going to mention.
And it's been so many months since I had a pedicure, ladies. Can you relate to this? All right. If you're joining us live, dive into the comments and let us know where are you coming in from. And have you recently visited a nail salon?
I have not, unfortunately. I thought you were going to mention how excited you were that I'm back in town.
I am excited that you're back in town.
We had a baseball tournament this past weekend.
You did?
Well, really, I left Wednesday night.
It's been very long.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Nadia's missed me. She was like blowing my phone up every day, FaceTiming me, text messaging. She's even like sounding off the iPhone alert. All of a sudden, I'm driving down the road, ringer's off. And then what's the noise it makes? What is that?
Do you ever use Find My iPhone? It's excellent. If you're not familiar with the feature, let me educate you. Yes. What happens is if your husband and or your children are not responding to your text message, you go to your Find Your Phone app and you beep them. And whether their sound is on or off, it doesn't matter. It's going to alert the elders. It's going to activate activity, which is exactly what you want. All right. So
I always have my phone muted. That's
John and Nadya Melton here. I want to talk to you a little bit today around how do we set big goals, smash big goals. We were actually joking a little bit about it in John's IG story that August usually is a month that's a little bit welcome to Sackville. Like, welcome to Sackville. Right. Let us pause. Let us smell the roses. Let us be a little bit stressed around where the numbers are at, right? So for most entrepreneurs, for most people in the network marketing profession, it is a little bit of like, okay, well, let's just suck with it. Let's just be in that energy, right? The good news is it doesn't have to suck. Matter of fact, the best months for productions are coming up. You got September, you got October, you got November, which historically is the biggest month for us. Is that still correct?
Yep.
Out of all of the 12 months.
Last 4 years, yeah.
Actually, this would be a good question to ask you guys. What month for you? And if you don't know, this should be for sure a sign that, man, I have got to start tracking my numbers on a month-to-month basis. So then you can reference year by year and just kind of know your statistics.
Right.
But what month is your biggest month for you in your business? It's good to know that information, right? So for us, it's November. December also, because we do so much cool stuff within our company. December is a pretty big month too, but August usually is a little sucky, right? So what we wanted to do, we wanted to chat with you guys. We wanted to do a little bit of brainwashing. We wanted to do a little bit of something extra. Let's talk all about it. But how do we think and elevate ourselves to talk about, okay, let's really do something really cool in the month of August. Let's start creating this momentum. So going into the biggest month of the year, September, October, November, you have this explosive growth, right? Explosive growth. Okay.
Right.
So I hope you're excited. I know we're excited. We're going to do something cool. You guys, a couple of quick announcements before we dive into it all. The first one, today is the last day for people to come to our podcast, to leave a review, to be entered to win. We're doing a couple different prizes, but we're giving away the big Diva ring light. For those of you that are doing videos, you know lighting is everything. Ding! Makes you look fabulous. Especially if you're using StreamYard, which is a platform that we love, right? But we need extra lights. Anyways, so if you have subscribed to our podcast, thank you so much. If you left us a review, oh my gosh, you tickled are fabulous. Thank you for that. We love you extra.
Did you say tickled? You're fabulous?
Yeah. Oh. I love that. I really, really love that. And if you had no idea that we had a podcast, oh my gosh, where have you been? You know what I mean? So we have a podcast. We are getting close to 30 episodes which is pretty exciting. So we're curating our very best nuggets and we're bringing to you via an audio experience like this. Look at, ta-da! Tick. Okay. All right. So that is happening. And if you're loving our podcast, yes, Michelle, if you're loving our podcast and you leave us a review, today's the last day to submit it, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a big giveaway. We're going to announce it on our business page. If you're watching us right now on John and Nadya Melton business page, we're going to announce the winner. So I want to encourage you to rush. Definitely. And today we're going to be doing giveaways too. All right, John, do you feel like I'm polarizing this experience?
Just keep it going, baby. You're crushing it.
We're polarizing.
Look at all these people sharing. Patricia's sharing. Penny's tagging some people. What does that even mean? Exactly. Sometimes Nadia says things.
No,
you just got to roll with it.
Okay.
Yes, AVL, we are in the MLM industry. I would never do single level marketing. That sounds terrible. Whoop, whoop, says Sylvia. Ready to smash August. Listen, here's the deal.
Yes,
August can be a gigantic month for you. Ginormous, in fact. But it's a matter of setting an intention, setting a plan of action every single day where you're not going to make excuses. You're going to take action even when you don't feel like it. And we're going to go into these steps. But I'm just telling you, sometimes you set the goal and it seems unlikely that you can obtain the goal. And I will say this, there are a lot of people that get involved in business, and sometimes they tend to overestimate what they can accomplish in a month or 12 months, and they totally underestimate what they can accomplish in 5. I already did it.
Oh.
Yep. So just make sure that you are not putting yourself in a situation where you're getting discouraged if you don't hit the goal. Because really, it's about stretching yourself. It's about putting yourself out there. So even if you go, hey, I want to do 100,000 this month, right? Minimum. I want my organization to do 25,000 a week. I want to help 100 people sell over 1,000 in personal sales on average, right? Some people might do a lot more, some will do less. But let's say you had a mindset of, I'm going to have 100 people that sell 1,000 points. We're going to do 100,000 as an organization. And I know some of us are in companies where maybe it's not based on volume, but because most companies do a volume-based compensation plan, that's what I'm going to talk about. But I think if you set a goal or you map out a plan and you don't hit it, who cares? At least you're stretching yourself.
Yes.
And you're headed in the right direction into this last quarter of the year, right? August, September, October, rolling into November, December to close out this last 5-6 months with a bang. Is it 5 months?
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 5 months to close out this year strong. 2020 has been a weird year. Not so good year in many ways, but for business,
fabulous year in many ways
for network marketing businesses. I mean, there's a lot of network marketing leaders right now that are having their most success. Our team over the last 4 months did over 22 million in sales just in the last 4 months. That's the most we've ever done in a 4-month stretch in our entire almost 19-year career. Next month will be 19 years in network marketing for me. Actually, it'll be longer than that for you, baby. You're a veteran.
Listen.
You're a pro.
All right.
A cougar.
Now that we know. I am a cougar for 6 months out of the year, y'all, in case you're curious. Real John Melton is too about
Nadia
to join
is in her
the
40s.
4th decade of his life.
I'm in my 30s.
That's crazy.
I still have a couple more months.
Okay. All right, you guys. All right, let us do it. So
stretch yourself.
Let's talk about how do we get these big, these gorgeous, these juicy goals accomplished. Okay, so there's 7 steps that we're going to walk you through, and we're going to give you some really cool examples. I know for some of us, it's a little bit of a struggle, right? I remember, and then sometimes still it a little bit like catches me, right, from a left side. But how do we get to the point where we can set goals, we can achieve them? There's no drama. That would be wishful thinking, right?
Right.
But how do we also like achieve goals that are not too ginormous, where it's almost like I don't even see myself accomplishing that, that's like too huge, right?
Right.
But then we also want to stay away from setting really tiny baby goals that are not inspiring you to get out of your comfort zone. So we got to find that beautiful balance, and we want to help you do just that. So step number one is we want to decide. All right. And I'd love to see where you got at with your goal setting? Do you love to set goals? Do you set goals? Do you know how to identify and discern like business versus personal? Like how methodical do you get with it? But I know for John and I, there's a couple different examples that we can give you because I find this to be a journey that is never, never ending. It's like the never, never land. How's that movie go? With the man that flies, Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Neverland.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
So
I don't know
cute.
what that meant.
Did you mean The
Anyways.
Neverending Story?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a different movie.
Okay.
Totally different story altogether.
A little bit. I missed it. Like I
We
had
get
a
it.
plane. I didn't land it
It's
just
true.
perfectly. Okay.
You landed it in Never Never Land instead of
So
Neverending
close
Story
yet
Land.
so far away, y'all. It all happens, right? Okay, so what happens is this. We want to decide on what is it the goal. So we want to talk to you guys a little bit like micro, right? Because we're talking about August. We're talking about having a really good quarter, walking into like really wrapping up 2020 with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
But I also, now that I've been doing a lot of research on setting goals, it's almost silly, honestly, to set goals for like 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah.
I think Tim Ferriss was talking about that. And he's like, dude, yes, okay. So you set a goal for where you want to be 5 years from now. But let's say you do a video tomorrow and that video goes viral, right? And then all of a sudden your life has completely changed. And then your 5-year goal became like your 90-day goal. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm a huge believer of is I love to plan like 12 months in advance. I think it's very, very doable. And then you break it up into quarters and you kind of get a grasp of, okay, so I want my business, and we like talking about business and we like talking about money because you can count it. You can kind of like see your numbers. You can track some stuff, right? But then of course you can apply the same formula for your personal stuff. Like I set a lot of personal goals. I believe it. We set health goals. We set beauty goals. You know, you got to have those things. You got to have those things in place as well. So let us decide, right? Number one is decide.
Right.
Decide.
Make a decision.
Let us make a decision.
Write it down. Make it a big deal.
So baby, I want you to talk a little bit about, for those of us that struggle, because I know you guys, I get to live with John and he's such a big like thinker. He's a big doer. And I'm very, very lucky with that because there's been many times in kind of like our journey where I a little bit lost my vision for where I was going, but you were always so grande, you know, like extra large. So for those of us that are a little bit struggle with believing that we can achieve or believing that we deserve the success that we want to go after, how do we orient ourselves around setting the goal that's going to inspire, but also like that we believe we can achieve?
Well, for me, I had to simplify things. I dropped out of community college. I'm not like a super smart, you know, person that has like this vast education and vocabulary. And, you know, I'm, you know, this person that, you know, studies all this stuff. Like for me, it's hard to even sit down and listen to something, let alone read something. But I have mentors. I have over the last almost 2 decades in network marketing found certain strategies that I said, you know what, this is simple. Like for instance, let me just give you a specific example. I didn't know anything about mortgages or real estate when I got in the mortgage industry, but the dude said, make 100 calls a day.
Okay.
The owner of the mortgage company, right? He's this millionaire dude hiring me. I tell him, I don't know what a mortgage is, which was pretty funny because I was getting a mortgage job. But he said, if you make 100 calls a day, you'll figure it out and you will make 6 figures. And I just believed him. For me, that was simple. Again, didn't have a background in real estate, didn't go to school for it. I didn't have some experience with selling money, which is what mortgages basically, it was selling money, right? I didn't know anything about it, but he said, make 100 calls a day. And I believed him. Then we went into a network marketing company and they said, for every home meeting that you do, for every one home meeting you do, you'll sign up one person. More meetings meant more money. So again, didn't have a lot of experience, wasn't a guy to sit down and study the profession. Over the years, I have become a student. But back then, dude, I just listened to a couple key phrases. I listened to a couple jokes and I said, I'm going to make that joke mine. I'm going to steal that joke. I'm going to rob and duplicate, right? And I started doing meetings. I said, you know what? I'm just going to sit down with people and I'm going to get emotionally detached from the result of the meeting. If the meeting sucks, it doesn't matter. I did the meeting, right? Even if I was terrible, I did the worst presentation in the history of presentations. The good news is it wasn't recorded. Nowadays with video, it's a little different, right? But on a serious note, it was me getting better at video. It was me getting better at presenting, right? It was me getting better at communicating. So every bad video, every bad presentation, every bad prospecting call, when I was in mortgages in the beginning, I remember that first 6 months, man, it was brutal. But every bad phone call made me a little bit better. I was like, I'm not going to say that next time. I'm not going to get into that conversation next time. Does this make sense? I love it. You fine tune as you perform these different tasks. And that's the real challenge for most people, is it's those daily tasks, those daily disciplines.
And we're going to get to it, you guys. We're going to help you with that. And I think what really helped me, right, going back to number one, we decide, right? But I think for us, we always seeked out a mentor or somebody that was maybe 5 years ahead of us, 10, 20 years ahead of us. And then you can go, okay, so I love the life that they created. So what does their agenda look like? What are they doing every day? And then you operate on faith. You go, okay, so if they did these things to achieve this life 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if I do those things and they continue to get better every day, logic would tell you you're going to create the same type of success. Now, here's what's interesting, you guys. We're doing a new case study under the Melton roof. So our son, Dylan, God bless his little heart. He's so sweet. He's turning 16. My baby turns 16.
Driving soon.
This month. It's crazy. I cannot believe it. All right. So Dylan cultivated this dream of being a professional baseball player when he was so young. And he's so diligent. He's so good. He really works at his craft. And now that he's getting older and we're looking at quote unquote competition, right? And so John is really good about that. So he's looking at, okay, so this kid, also 16, he's doing this for his nutrition. He's working out this much, like all these different criterias. So in order to help Dylan, and this is a really cool compliment to you, John, the way that you're helping him kind of like grow through this experience and also learn about goal setting and actually then implementing every day, like helping him work through these 7 steps, right? But the one thing that we did was we hired a company or a coach to help Dylan with nutrition.
Remote
coaching and workouts to help him further kind of like fine tune his craft.
Not only give him guidance, but also accountability. And you know what? Again, look, he might not get the result that he wants in the time frame he wants it in, but at least he's setting a goal. At least he's got a plan.
Love that.
Whether or not he hits the goal, it's not as relevant as it is for him to just pursue the goal. The person you will become through the process of discipline, goal setting, action taking, and you got to hold yourself accountable. Maybe get some accountability partners for this month where you're holding each other accountable on how many people you ATM, how many people you do group chats with, how many people you talk to about your business or products. And we'll get into that. But it's so important for you to not just say, oh, I want this goal, but you actually have a plan, right? A goal without a plan is just a wish.
Oh, good. Okay. So number 2, write it down. Write it down. If you haven't done this, can I just challenge you a little bit? We actually did this in the beginning of the year. If you've been following us for some time, maybe you were present to that beautiful broadcast that we cultivated. And we talked about the challenge, right? Where my goal was to write down 300 goals. And I can't even talk about how challenging that was, because you think you have these big goals and big things you want to achieve. And then you get to number like 88 and you're a little bit run out of ideas. It's kind of crazy, right? So if you're struggling in the goal department, just challenge yourself, do a little brain dump. But for those of us that have clarity, specifically business-wise, just you got to write it down, because there's something magical that happens, right? If you look at your conscious mind is like a flea and your subconscious mind is like an elephant, how do you communicate between the two brains? is you write it down. And that's how your flea communicates to the elephant. You engage the whole body, you engage the whole universe, law of attraction, law is activated, okay? Number 3 is you share with your family, you share with a friend, you share online. You know what is
Your upline,
really,
your
yes,
team.
upline. You know, something really awesome happens. It's called social accountability, right? Accountability usually is that missing piece. And this is, you know, where with Dylan, I'm super psyched because if there's somebody else that's going to be holding him accountable to, hey, your workouts, like here's your schedule. Tell me what you did this week. What did you do yesterday? What did you eat for breakfast? Do you know what I mean?
And the
that
thing
accountability is so good.
We're not experts when it comes to that, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to teach someone to throw a fastball 95 miles an hour, right? That's what these guys do. So sometimes you have to outsource your weaknesses. Sometimes you have to outsource to get the training or have someone else help you in one capacity or another. That could be a part of your goals. That could be a part of your plan, right? So anyway, I just wanted to point that out because that's the reason we hire an expert. That's the reason we hire someone to help us accelerate the process instead of us just winging it and figuring it out on our own.
Yeah, that's so good. And you got to look at it. How can you, what if you could fast forward your struggle 5 years?
Right.
You know, so before we got into this whole online gorgeous space of operation, we had no idea what we were doing. So we saw that it was a weakness and we go, okay, so we have a choice on our hands right now. We can either struggle our way to the top, like struggle.
Which we did that also.
Yes. Or we can struggle accelerated. Do you know what I mean? Like we can quickly get the route that's the fastest. And this is where hiring an expert, it's a beautiful idea. For those of you that maybe struggle with future pacing, this is why it's always an awesome idea to go to live events. Depending on when you're listening to us, right? At the time of the recording, going to a live event is a little bit of a big idea.
There's plenty of virtual events.
But
courses,
you guys, did you know Tony Robbins is doing now virtual events? Like if you're looking for a generic event, you can virtually plug in. So you can find the virtual either some kind of, you know, event to participate or mastermind or whatever it is, right?
And okay. More affordable too.
Go right. So we're going to share with our family. We're going to share with our upline. We're going to share with our team because that breeds accountability socially, right? Number 4. Okay. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty. And I really love you guys. We get excited to talk about number 4 because this is where the pavement hits the car wheels, right? So you're going to break it down.
The rubber hits the road?
Yes. We're going to break it down into daily activity goals, right? Daily activity goals. Okay. So let us know in the comments, do you or do you not become attached to lack of result, right? John already mentioned the fact that most people, you guys, too many people out there, they're overestimating how much they can achieve their first year in business, their first couple of years in business, not recognizing that most businesses fail within their first 3 to 5 years in business, right? And you're looking to create a professional level of income. And so many people go, oh, well, let me just wing it and hope I make a professional level of income. So that's just so silly. So we need to stop with the whole being so attached to the result, right? So how do we set ourselves up for success? Well, step 4 is we break down our goal into our daily to-do, and then we become very focused on just crushing our activity goals.
That's right, baby.
Baby, talk about their 100 boxes. All right, let us introduce you. Da, 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 da. I need some drum rolls. Okay.
So back in the day, we would do
100 boxes.
100 box challenge.
Okay.
Where essentially your goal was to do 100 presentations in 30 days, get 100 people in front of the, you know, the opportunity video, the overview. Now you could say 100 people that you ATM. You could do 100 group chat challenge.
You could do 100 referral posts.
Referral post challenge. Whatever you want to focus on this month. But think about it.
Okay.
If you're like, okay, I got 100 boxes. My goal this week is to fill up 25 of those boxes. I got to get 25 humans in an ATM group.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get 25 of those humans in a group chat with my upline.
Yep.
I got to get 25 humans to post up a referral post.
Love
whatever,
it.
Whatever your goal is.
Mm.
Maybe you have 3 100 boxes, 3 sets for each one, whatever.
Okay.
And look, it could be other things too. But for us, again, I wanted to keep things simple, man. I didn't have some expertise in what I was doing. I just knew that if I did a certain amount of activity, the results would follow. And you know what? They absolutely did. And here's what I'll tell you.
Okay.
If you outwork someone with more skill, you will eventually outproduce someone with more skill. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you outwork them, eventually you outproduce them. There's people that were very successful in network marketing when I first got involved in 2001, and I make way more money than they do today. Now, it is 19 years later almost, but at the end of the day, eventually I passed most of those people. I don't think there were many people from that company that right now make more than we do in network marketing. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant or braggadocious, my favorite word, but it's just pointing out that eventually, if you continue to show up, eventually, if you're doing the work long enough, you'll start to see the results. The results will absolutely follow the activity because you get better. You know, I had a leader on my team ask me, she goes, John, I just don't feel like I have the skills. I'm like, dude, you're brand new. Like, she's very impatient with her results. And I'm like, you're brand new. You can't expect to be good at this already. You're just getting started. I'm like, it took me 7 years to get to a full-time income in network marketing. Now, granted, we did have some ups and downs and some crazy cray that happened, but you know, it took time, especially in network marketing, because it's like you're building, it's kind of like building an investment portfolio, right? Or building up a real estate portfolio. You're not a real estate investor today and 30 days later making a decent income, a year later making a full-time income. You have to think what? Long term. It doesn't matter how much you suck the first 3 to 5 years. It doesn't matter how much you struggle the first 3 to 5 years. If 10 years from now, you're a multimillionaire, right? Money is no longer an issue for you and your children's children. How many of us, if money was no longer an issue 10 years from now, do you think you would really care how much you sucked the first 3 to 5 years, how little you made money in the first 3 to 5 years or 10 years? Do you think you would care? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we don't care. Right. I don't care how much I struggled back then. I don't care how much my ass got kicked by other teams.
It doesn't even seem like it was a big deal.
Right.
Like it was
that was motivation.
All that bad or all that dramatic.
Right. No, that's a great point. And we were always depositing into our, future social equity. We were investing into our relationships, our skill set, our mindset, right? Like all the adversity we dealt with back then, we're so much more developed as leaders, as people, as parents, as all things. And it's funny, our skin is much thicker, right? There's very little that like shocks me. I mean, when the pandemic hit, that was definitely something where we're like, dang, how are we going to deal with this? But again, we just continue to show up and do what we always do and do videos. And we weren't always sure how things were going to unfold. Now, luckily, our businesses actually flourished during this time, but we didn't know that was going to happen for sure. So we just said, you know what? We're just going to continue to show up. We're going to double down on our goodness. We're going to put more value, more content. We're going to help more people. Yeah. And that's what we've been doing. And it's been working for a really, really, really long time. But for a really, really long time, it wasn't working. Yeah. Our results were fleeting at best. Right. But when I look back, those were all lessons. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Yeah. And it's actually better to fail. You learn way more from failing. Oh, 100%. Because look, who's the guy that talks about pain and pleasure? Is that Brian Tracy? Most people do things to avoid pain. Robbins. Or really, I could have sworn it was Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy talks a lot about Brian Tracy talks about entertainment. Too many people do things for entertainment versus actually working and educating themselves. Anyway, so most people do things to avoid pain or to experience pleasure, right? So I think for most of us, it's harder to read the book than it is to watch Netflix, right? It's harder to prospect our A players, right? People that we look up to and respect than it is to prospect the easy people. You got to choose courage over comfort. My favorite quote, I say it all the time,
Love it.
Brene Brown, choose courage over comfort.
Have you seen that documentary on Netflix, by the way?
We all think
so good. Brene Brown.
we all
Watch
think
it.
people
Watch
are
it.
doing better than they really are.
Yeah.
And things are never as bad as they seem or as good as they seem.
Yeah.
You see these people that are showing you the highlight reel on social media. They got the same issues you've got, right? They sleep just like you sleep. They go to the bathroom just like you go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? They get hungry just like you get hungry. They got bad moods just like you got bad moods. They got problems. If someone's like super ripped, let's say someone's in really great shape, but they're broke as a joke, right? So they got that problem. You might be, you might have like a really great marriage, but your health isn't the best. Or you're super healthy, you're well off financially, but you're not in love, right? You just went through a nasty divorce.
Everybody deals with something, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody deals
Don't
with something.
compare your front yard to someone else's backyard.
Yeah. No, I love it. And one thing I love to do personally is I love to troubleshoot like weak points one at a time.
Right.
And I love talking about that because I think sometimes we overlook it, or maybe we just get comfortable with the fact that this area of our life sucks. But here's one thing that I really love, and I love to ground myself in this truth that I learned from Brendon Burchard. I love Brendon. All right, I will settle down now. And here's what he talks about. There's only two narratives in humanity. There's two stories, one of struggle and one of progress, right? So identify what's the number one struggle for you right now, right? What is that number one struggle? And how can you create progress every single day in that area? And that's step 5 for you, is you got to show up daily and you got to create progress every single day. And honestly, when you really dial it all back, Tony Robbins talks about this, that happiness equals progress. How do you lead a life that's inspiring to you and inspiring to others?
Right.
Well, you got to start with your happy, happy, happy. And what creates happy? Progress creates happy, right? And progress, we all have it. Well, no. Struggle, we all have it, but progress, my friends, not everybody subscribes to that little notion.
Right.
So if you subscribe to that every single day, you show up every single day and you focus on your activity goals, not the results goals, results will come if you show up every single day.
That's right. And this is why I think the 100 box challenge is so good. I'd recommend you get a whiteboard, somewhere where you can see it in your house.
Good.
Somewhere where you can see it and you walk by, you're like, dude, I didn't fill up a box today, or I got to fill up like 5 boxes a day to get through the week because I've only gotten, 20 this week and it's already the 7th day of the week, right? Because if you say I want to do 100 boxes, I'm going to get 100 people in my ATM groups. I'm going to do 100 group chats with my upline. I'm going to do 100 referral posts, whatever. Yeah. Now, look, do you have to do it in 30 days? You don't have to. You can do it in 60 days. Yeah. You can do it in 90 days. In fact, aren't we doing...
We are
90-day tracker. So if we want to talk about that, but I think that's a great way to keep track also, because
I do think
they should have a follow-up book.
Minimum.
People always ask me, how do you keep track of all the people you ATM, all the people you're prospecting? I have a follow-up book to keep track of all that. We have one in the back of our 90-day tracker.
We do.
But I just need you to understand the reason you set the intention of filling out the 100 boxes is because you become emotionally detached from the results. You're like, my goal is to get 100 people in, one name in each one of these 100 boxes, 100 people in the boxes, and the results will follow. That's why I made 100 calls a day. He said, make 100 calls a day, you'll make 6 figures. Yeah. Now I didn't make 100 calls a day for 2 days. I made 100 calls a day until I started seeing results. And you know what happened? Jeez, Toby, you know what happened is I had a tough time. You should let him out.
Toby, why? Why is there so much
because
noise?
Someone's ringing the doorbell. I think Omar was calling you. Our landscaper. It was, the good news is that was recorded on video. So the 100 box challenge is really good because what'll happen is you'll probably end up putting so many people in these boxes that you'll get to a point where the reason you don't fill up the boxes as quickly as you had intended to, because you have so many people responding to you. You're doing so many group chats. You can't keep up. I got this woman on my team, Jen Acosta. Tag Jen if you know Jen. She's amazing. She just had her best month ever. Now, the reason I want to point out Jen is Jen was not somebody that came in with some huge experience in network marketing, some huge audience, a big team. So her progress, her growth wasn't as quickly as others. But she just kept showing up, consistently doing group chats. Still today, she consistently does group chats. She consistently ATMs. She's always doing videos, and she's getting more traction on her videos than she used to. Kept showing up, kept showing up, kept showing up, just had her best month ever. And I point that out because I'm just going to say it. I've got people on my team right now, and they're like, oh, you know, July was not as good as May and July. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, that's okay. Businesses are going to have ups and downs. You're never just going to go up forever. Like you just go up indefinitely. Every month is better than the last month. Like you never take a dip. Like there's no such business in the world. It'll happen to Jen. It happens to me. My month of, what was last month? July was not as good as June. It wasn't as good as May. It was a little less than May. So it was almost the same as May, but still it wasn't as good as May or June. Who cares? You just keep going. August, my goal is to have a bigger month in August than I've ever had in my career. If it doesn't happen, so what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try to do it again in September. Do you get this? You just keep going and you learn lessons along the way. You test, you tweak, you test out a post. You tweak it if it didn't do well, right? You tweak it accordingly. You use certain scripts when prospecting. If it's not getting results, you tweak it accordingly. You're doing videos on different topics. Some videos hit hard, some not so much. All right. And Faith says, yes, I'm so excited for this 100-box challenge. How many of you want to crush it in the next 30, 60, 90 days? Do the 100-box challenge. I'm telling you. And you could have, yeah, sure. Or you could just sit here.
No, I want to sit in my chair.
Oh, baby, you're jealous. You don't like when I sit in your chair?
I don't.
Oh,
can you sit over there now?
So cute. Why, you don't want to go too high in the sky? I like you high in the sky. Ah! I get in trouble later.
Oh my gosh, my heart is skipping beats.
My heart is skipping beats.
Okay.
But you continue to progress. You know, I was just talking to Casey and Kylie. I don't know how many of you have seen Casey and Kylie. If you know them, you know the twins. You know they're amazing. They just had a huge month in June. They hit what's called Elite 1 in our company. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
They did not come over and have fast success. They didn't have some huge team. They had to grind. They had to show up. They had to do the work. They had to listen to a ton of training calls, take a lot of notes, implement, execute, go out there and do their best every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. They've been working with us now for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Did not have quick success.
Yeah.
Who cares? They kept doing it. They kept showing up. They worried about themselves. They didn't worry about what everybody else was doing. They were learning from other people, but they never, I don't think I ever heard them once complain, never get discouraged, which is, by the way, very rare because I get discouraged all the time, right? I want people to win. I want people to grow. I want to see certain things happen and they don't happen. It's called being a human.
Yeah.
But they, even if they were discouraged, they didn't vent to me. They didn't say, oh, so frustrated. They were always so positive, kept showing up. And July for them was bigger than June. July was their best month ever. So sometimes people, you know, they have really fast success, things plateau and even decline, and they can't handle it. I've seen people, I remember early in our network marketing career, there were people that came in guns blazing, lots of influence, brought in a bunch of people, crushing it. They're all over the leaderboard. You know, everybody's high-fiving them. They're like, you know, the freaking, the shiznit that month or that year. Next year, long gone. I'm like, what happened to, you know, what happened?
Right.
What happened to Jay and Courtney as an example?
Yeah.
Right. I don't, you know, where are they at? They were crushing it for a year or two. Where are they at? We kept showing up.
Yeah.
We kept doing the work. Now, they're great people. Maybe they're leading happy lives. But at that time, I remember seeing what they were doing. And I go, I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
I remember being a little bit jelly, little bit peanut butter and jealous.
Yeah.
I was a little jelly.
Yeah, that's human.
Right.
That's
but then I was like,
normal.
hold on a second.
But we
I
gotta
need to
manage
figure
it.
out what are they doing.
Right.
I got to figure out what they're doing. And I'll give you another example. If someone says to me, John, how do I get to 6 figures in my online business? I'll say, listen, you got an ATM, meaning adding people to a group that will give them information on the products or business that you're promoting. You got an ATM, 10 to 20 people a day to grow fast, to get there quick, right? Now, some people don't have that many contacts. Some people don't have that much time. Some people don't have that big of a network. But here's the beauty. If you don't get to a 6-figure income in 60, 90, 120 days. I remember specifically, I'm not going to say the name, but we had a person, she was ATMing literally 20 people a day. And she hit one of the top ranks and then hit an even higher rank the next month within like 4 months, 5 months. She's not here today. She is not on my team today. So she grew fast. That's awesome. That's exciting. But years later, there was people that at that time were not doing as well as her that are now out earning her, that are now in our business today. They're winning. They're crushing it. She's long gone.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You can't get so fixated or frustrated so easily because your expectations are off. Tony Robbins says it best. Exchange your frustration for appreciation. So instead of getting frustrated, get fascinated and say, what are they doing differently? How are they growing so quickly? What are they doing that I could learn from them? And more importantly, think about this. Would you agree that there's a possibility that they have inspired you? Would you agree there's a possibility that because of them, you're more motivated?
Right.
Like I said, I could have been frustrated that Jay and Courtney were kicking our butts, even though they had just gotten started. We were there for 2 years.
Minimum.
But instead, I exchanged my frustration for appreciation. I said, I'm so glad that they came to this company, same company we're in. I'm so glad they're having such massive success. You got to have an abundant mentality, right? There's plenty of business out there for everybody, y'all. But I was so glad they were crushing it. Why? Because it inspired me. It motivated me. It actually pissed me off. I'm like, dude, what are we doing differently? What are we doing wrong? I got to get better. I got to work on me. I got to work on what I'm doing with my system and the way we're building, because they showed us what was possible.
Yeah.
And that was an example from so many years ago.
Oh,
but
for sure, baby.
Even when
you got into a time machine and went back.
This is true. 12 years ago. 12. Yeah, that was about 12 years ago. But I started.
So
Actually, that was even longer than that. That was like 2006.
I think we should always sit like this.
Right? It is a little bit.
Is your leg falling asleep?
I don't know. I can't feel it.
Oh, that's so good.
You get it?
So, are you on
Patrick? All I'm saying is, you can make 100 box challenge essentially you doing 100 exposures. I just like the boxes because if you put it on like a whiteboard or you put it somewhere
we
where
should
you're gonna see it every day.
We have our designer create 100 boxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could even take a piece of paper.
Let us know in the comments if you'd want us to create that and share it with you all.
10-10.
That's a beautiful opportunity. Woo. Like I know right now we're speaking to how do you personally set goals, and then how do you smash those goals, and how do you do it in the month of August, where most people are subscribing to the plan of, let me just kind of like chillax and enjoy the last month of the summer, not you, right? Okay, but then how do we even put a little bit more gasoline on this gorgeous plan of yours? And how do we bring your team on this awesomeness, right? And creating some kind of like mini challenges and taking your team on a 90-day run or on 100, box challenge could be really, really,
here's something you could do. You could say, listen, anybody that fills up 100 boxes in 30 days, they're going to get on a special team coaching call, group coaching call with one of your upline leaders in your network marketing company. Right. I guarantee there's a leader in your upline that would do that for you. Right. That could be an incentive. Or you could say, listen, I'm going to give away, a prize every single week to anybody that fills out their 25 boxes this week. Anybody that gets 25 people to do a referral post, 25 people this week to an ATM group, 25 group chats. All right. Because the reason you focus on this activity is it will yield the results. Yes. Sometimes it's like, well, shouldn't we be focused on getting customers? Yeah. But where do you get customers from? The people you talk to, the people you ATM, the people you expose to your products or opportunity. Hello. I love that. I really love that. Okay. So number 6 is you have got to keep going. You just have got to keep going, and you have to believe that you are going to cultivate this gorgeous life that you visualize, but it doesn't happen overnight. Rome was not built overnight. The success that we experience today, I'm so grateful, but we built it brick by brick. Now, the cool thing is, and it was painful. But looking back, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I love it. It really wasn't. When you take a look at New York City, when you take a look at New York City, it didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen just with one person. So the cool thing is, once you cultivate this goal of yours, this dream you're looking to create, what's awesome is you can then look for
really awesome shortcuts, if you will, where you can have a coach or you can, outsource, you can get your kids on this big idea that you have. You enroll your team into it, right? And the dream team will get you the dream life. Oh, that is a
Mic
sentence
drop.
I've never cultivated.
Even though I felt like you were pulling for words as you were saying it.
Yes.
So y'all smash this heart button if this has helped you. Are you excited about this?
Yes,
month?
Estella Ravensfelder.
Are you fired up to close the summer?
Okay,
with a
don't
bang?
forget number 7.
I know. I didn't say it was over. I'm just saying. I want to hear some love.
I feel like I'm hearing closing
Before
remarks.
we get to number 7, aren't we going to do something with the tracker?
Yes, minimum.
What are we doing?
Minimum. Let us give it away.
Okay.
Let us help you get organized.
I'd recommend
and
y'all purchase a tracker, and if you end up winning, well, then you can give yours away, the winning one away. But if you go to mylifestyleacademy.com/tracker,
you're going to find it.
Just drop
oh, we can do it.
So maybe
we can do it.
Can you do it afterwards?
Yeah.
Just drop the word tracker and we'll give you a link.
Yes.
Drop the word tracker in the comments and we'll give you the link to order these bad boys. I don't think we have that many left.
No, I don't think we have that many left. Okay.
So and that's not a form of like fear of loss. It's just we don't. So
it's true.
There is a possibility at some point in the near future.
You guys, okay, so we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to give a lot away. Don't forget, if you joined us a little bit late, today is the last day that you can enter a Diva Ring Light, a Studio One giveaway by leaving us a review on our podcast. So we are always so grateful for your beautiful comments here on the live video. Can you just scooch over there? Maybe a little
I can't scooch over if you don't get up. So I just want you all to see.
Okay, yes.
In the tracker, you can see how.
Oh, and you can enter the giveaway by going to our podcast, mylifestyleacademy.com/podcast. You can find us on iTunes. Okay, it's true. Now I'm like really bright, John. It's like getting dark outside.
But it's because the rain's cut, the hurricane. So the hurricane's coming. Anyway, so you can see
the way I look right now.
Inside of, is there a way we can highlight so they can actually see? It doesn't matter. Just know that on here, there's momentum creating activities. You can track your stats. I'm showing you this because as exciting as it is to map out a plan for exposure, map out a plan for all the things we just went over, you need to also track your numbers. And here's why. You need to know, how many people do you sign up out of 10 or out of 100, right? How much volume are you doing on a month-to-month basis? I track my volume daily. Here's how I do it. I take a screenshot. Every night before bed, I take a screenshot of my volume. Every night before bed. Why? Because I can go back.
At times he drives me crazy. I'm like, baby, what are you doing? It's in the middle of the night. Turn lights off. Let us catch some rest.
Shut eye.
Beauty
we need to catch some shut
does not happen by default. We have to work at it.
You're so cute. You got to know your numbers. That's right, Monique. Oh, Ashley says, y'all are so amazing.
Oh, you stop it some more. I love it.
It's so important for us to have that long-term vision for what we want to create, have big goals, big vision, big dreams. However, none of that is relevant if you don't show up daily, weekly, and monthly. Yeah. And, obviously yearly, right? Those goals, those activity goals will help you yield the results-based goals. And when you hit your activity goals, celebrate, right? How many of you are a rank maker, right?
That's Ray does number 7. Number 7, you celebrate.
Yes. Ray does like, what's it called? Dance Party Friday or something. Oh. Everybody does dance videos in his group. I know I've got some teams that actually do the same thing where on Fridays they celebrate with dance videos.
Oh my gosh, we should sign up for a dance class.
It's just an idea, right? Yeah. Find ways to celebrate with your kids, get them involved. Say, hey guys, if mommy and daddy do their 100 boxes this month, we're going to go to Sizzler.
We're going to get you an ice cream cake. That's what motivates our kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they have such good habits. They're sweet teeth.
Oh, baby, settle down. Settle down. Sunny says, I've been using the tracker and it's amazing. So I can highly recommend using it. Yes, Sunny love. We love it. I love it. All right, you guys. So that is our message for you. And by the way, I love this post that went up on our business page a couple of days ago. And it said, those people that say money doesn't buy happiness, they're not considering you can buy a dog.
Then somebody's like, or you can adopt one. It's like,
it's true, but it's still gonna cost money to get a dog. what you need.
We
and
were
stuff.
skeptical, and not anymore. In fact, we want another one. We just need to find where we can get another cockapoo.
Oh, baby, you focus. I know you missed him. He was so stressed out that you were not here. I don't think he slept well at all for the last 5 nights. Feel the guilt, baby. Your puppy has been
Feel the guilt.
struggling.
How many of you are loving our podcast? Can't wait for you to leave a review.
Gosh.
We're gonna have some winners.
Yes. Oh, let's do a giveaway. OMG,
Jen,
we
if
almost forgot.
if you need the tracker link,
almost forgot.
If you need the tracker link, just drop the word tracker, and we'll
Please.
go back and get everybody the info.
We'll get you hooked up.
You're
Okay,
so cute.
you guys, let us do a giveaway. So here's how we're gonna do it. If you shared this broadcast, or if you left us a review on the podcast, can you let us know? Say a review, like type that as the word, and you can drop it as many times as you want. Or if you shared, drop the word shared. And then John is going to count, and then he's going to randomly pick. And we're going to give away 10 trackers right now. So it's going to be fire.
10?
Yeah, 10. Quickly, baby. So go ahead and start counting. Because these are the people that are with us until the very, very end. And you guys, how does that one phrase go?
Is there an easier way we can pick 10? I don't want to just randomly pick 10. Is there an easier way to do that? Do we do 5 now and then have 5 on the replay or something?
Yes. Okay, let's do 5 right now.
10. Okay. And you'll understand when you see the way we do it. Okay, so let me pick one randomly. What am I looking for?
So you're looking for review and you're looking for shared.
So they have to
So go ahead and start looking.
They have to either say the word.
You can go ahead and pick now. Go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Okay. AVL. How do you say that last name? AVL Mizraki.
There it is.
That's a super cool name. Of course, I get your name first.
Okay,
AVL.
next.
See, your name is awesome. Nadia. John. Boring. Anyway, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's why I call him Don Juan.
Patricia Ferguson. Up there.
Patricia.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sherry Buckus.
Oops.
Sherry Buckus. There you go.
Sherry.
Okay,
5, 4,
2
3, more.
2, 1. Sandra Pants.
Yeah, on YouTube. What's up,
tough.
Sandra?
It's tough with YouTube because they don't have their actual name. Her name probably is Sandra, but
no, it is
5,
Sandra.
4, 3, 2, but probably not last name Pants. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe.
Sandra,
Actually,
let us know.
maybe it is. We'll find out. Zali Ben
Me.
Cosme.
Ben Cosme.
Ben Cosme.
Yes. Good job, baby.
Perfect. Okay, that's 5. And we can do
Yes.
5 more on the replay.
5 more.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you guys,
So
listen.
tell them what to do.
Okay. So if we just said your name, can you send us an email, please, to support@mylifestyleacademy.com and include your shipping address so we can ship you our gorgeous tracker to help you set those gorgeous goals, to help you smash those epic goals, to help you turn heads, finally become the one that people go, how is he doing it? How is she doing it? Right? Let's help you do it. Now, if you don't have our tracker and you're so inspired to get organized and optimized, just drop the word tracker into the comments and we'll get you all of the details because let us help you guys crush the month of August. And then I want you to visualize that all of that spillage of momentum is now going to hit the best months, statistically speaking, for network marketing. So you're now going into September, October, November, December with all this momentum, all of this abundance, right? And imagine if you get your team enrolled in this $100 idea, right? That we chatted a little bit about. Okay. I really love it. So if you guys got value from this conversation, let us know in the comments. I'm telling you, it brings us so much joy. Like for John and I, this is our labor of love to come to you, to help you with answers, get you inspired, get you, a little bit also entertained. I believe this is how we all build a
You entertain me, baby.
pack. This is, baby, why you look so good. Notice.
I missed you.
Pay attention, baby. Notice you're energetically, just overall, you're just glowing. Why? What could it be? What could it be? So, okay, let us know in the comments. Also, share this broadcast if you love it. If you're listening to this on our podcast right now, we love you extra. We love our podcast community. Okay, and if you loved it, smash the heart button. And if you're not yet subscribed, well, I want to encourage you to subscribe. And
we love you long time.
That's right.
Hold on, I want to see something real quick.
Boom, boom. I think we should sign up for some dance classes. It's been on my to-do list.
Totally shouldn't.
It's fallen through the cracks. It was part of my 300 list.
Shucks.
I'm gonna sign me and you up for dance classes.
Dag nabbit. No, we're gonna go hit
I'm
the
gonna
gym.
send you an email with the details.
I haven't hit the gym the last 5 days.
Of our new dance class. Have you guys done a virtual dance class? I don't feel confident. Like I don't feel confident to go into an actual like studio.
Always interested.
I never am too excited to show up in my weakness.
Don't they have, like,
this is why we have a gym at our
dancing?
house. I don't want to, go into a public gym, but I want to
Pole?
go into a private gym.
They have those poles. It's called pole dancing.
Baby, settle down. Let us learn.
We can have one right over here.
Let us. Oh
Right
my
next to the
gosh,
sauna.
John. I don't even know. You're going off like a little bit into just a
about
territory.
I got ideas.
Territory that nobody should go into at the moment. Now we ought to do some beautiful salsa dance or a little bit of Zumba. Oh, Zumba could be cool.
Boring.
I'm cultivating an idea. I ought to write it down. You guys, I ought to do step number 2.
We'll see you next Monday.
Well, number 1, I got to decide. And step number 2, I got to write it down. Step number 3, I got to talk about it. Oh, I'm already overachieving. Notice, y'all. Notice. Overachievement is happening live in person right now. And number 4, break it down. All right, into daily activity. Let's go dance.
You already have so many skills at dancing. I mean, did you guys see that?
I really had to subscribe to a dance class.
All right. Money
All right,
Monday.
let's go, baby.
We out. Peace.
Love you guys. Thank